Hey guys, Jonathan here, and I'm here with the new LEGO Captain America Shield, which is coming out August 1st. LEGO sent it to me early to review, and all thoughts are my own, and I have to be honest with you guys, I really don't care for this set. Now, let me be honest, the idea of a large-scale LEGO Captain America shield like this is super awesome. I love the idea in principle, but the execution is honestly what kind of bothers me, so let's start by talking about that. First and foremost, this will be $200, and it comes out August 1st, like I said. It's got about 3,100 pieces, and it's an 18.5-inch radius the whole way around, so it is pretty big, but it's not as big as Captain America's actual shield, which is like anywhere from 22 to 25-inch radius, depending on like what model of the shield it is, if it's the stunt one or the hero shield or whatever. But it's a little bit smaller than the actual shield used in the movie, so you have to take that into consideration. The other thing I think we need to talk about is the $200 price tag. Needless to say, at $200, this is not going to be a set that everybody gets, and I understand that. I do like when LEGO has, sets that are priced at different tiers. However, I don't really know that this commands the $200 price tag with the execution. So as to say, I would have actually rather this have been like a $400 set and been actual movie prop size and get rid of all of these breaks in here, which is honestly one of my biggest issues with the set, because not only aesthetically do we have all of these cracks, if you will, between the segments that you build, but also it makes it a little bit weak. But I'll talk about all of that as we get into the review, so let's take a closer look. So let's start off by taking an overall aesthetic look at the shield. We'll move in a little closer so you can see the details of how it's built. My biggest complaint is all of the breaks in the sections. Obviously, you build these one by one, and it is a very monotonous, repetitive build because of that, because you're basically building the same thing like 18 to 20 times in a row, and it definitely makes for a really nice finished product, but in the minutia of actually getting it built, it is a bit annoying, if I'm being honest. And then the breaks at the end, it just doesn't feel like it would be a very sturdy shield at the end of the day, right? Like, there's the Bricker Builds shield that when you build that, there are no breaks because it's built in a completely different approach. So, it's a little bit of a bummer for me to know that it could be accomplished, but LEGO chose to go with this model here. Regardless, we can only, talk about what we have right in front of us, so we'll do that. We've got a little stand down here, which we'll look at in just a moment on its own. But, it is nice that it comes with something to stand this on. And then, of course, we have the star in the center. Now, it's a very ingenious build, the way that they used these, like, angled pieces. They're kind of the rubbery pieces. And I do think from a LEGO engineering standpoint, again, it is pretty genius, but I can't say I love the final look of it. I don't know how to explain it, but when I compare it to that Bricker Builds model, I don't know, seeing that there's a better way to do this makes me not like the official one all that much, if I'm being completely honest. But again, we can only talk about what's in front of us, so I do think that, dealing with the way that it was built, this does work pretty well, and it's actually a pretty ingenious build, like I said, with all those clip pieces in there to get all the angles going. But overall, I'm kind of meh so far. Now, truth be told, where it kind of falls apart for me is on the back. Now, aesthetically, this does look pretty cool. It's got, a lot of symmetry going, and I like that a lot. But there's no way, in my opinion, to really safely mod this to, make it wearable against your arm, because this centerpiece holds everything together, but it is just a little bit flimsy. I guess it doesn't translate super well on camera, and I don't want to misrepresent and say that the shield is flimsy in that respect, but I just don't think that you could put all the weight saddled there to get it on your arm and make this wearable. For me, again, another $50 to make the price go up that much more, but make this a little bit bigger, a little bit more functional, in my opinion, would be worth it. Because anybody that's willing to spend $200 on this would probably be willing to spend $250 to $300 to get it right, so to speak. That being said, we do have a lot of symmetry here. The back is obviously where you start. You build up in layers like every other LEGO set under the sun, but yeah, it does work pretty well, but I'm just not a huge fan of it because it's one of those models that really mainly looks good from the front, which is all that it needs to do, because this is kind of where the money's made, so to speak. This is what got you to buy the set in the first place. But at the end of the day, for $200 in today's economy, it's a lot to ask for what we're getting here, and I can't say I love it, even though I kind of like it and I see what they were going for. The final thing to talk about is the stand itself. So you want to be very careful when lifting it up because it is just a little bit fragile. So we're going to pick that up and move it, and you'll see that there's a red line on the back of the stand. As you build the model, you're supposed to line the red lines up so that it sits exactly there, because the way the model is built, that's where the weight needs to land. And finally, that brings us to the stand. Like I said, we've got that red center there where you're supposed to line it up with the shield. And there's nothing too much to say about it. It's a mainly Technic-based stand, at least as far as the support goes, which isn't too unexpected. You can see how the shield sits in this little groove. But I do have two complaints about this. I hate to be coming off so negative because I know a lot of people have been waiting for a Lego Captain America shield for a long time, and it's fine. I just don't love it, is the problem. But anyways, the first issue is the minifigure that it comes with. Now, this is the Captain America minifigure we've been getting for the Age of Ultron sets. There is a rumored Avengers Tower, so it does make sense that we'd be getting an Age of Ultron Cap now. However, Age of Ultron Captain America never truly held Mjolnir like this, so I feel like, I don't want to say it's false advertising, but it literally should have just been Captain America, the minifigure, without Mjolnir. So that's a little bit of a bummer. The other thing to talk about, speaking of Mjolnir, is the name tag. If you look at the Thor's hammer set, it actually has Mjolnir printed on the name badge, but here it just says Captain America. Shouldn't it say Captain America's shield underneath it? Again, I realize it's a little bit nitpicky, but when the precedent has already been set that the name badge gets the name of the weapon that it's, representing, just having Captain America there seems kind of lame to me. Let me know if you agree with that, and in the meantime, let's zoom out and wrap up this video. Well, thanks again to LEGO for sending this my way early, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Will you guys be getting this on August 1st for 200 bucks, or is this a pass for you? I'd genuinely love to know in the comments down below, so be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Well, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and maybe check out one of my other videos listed here.